figure out later, but the entry is still down there. I don't know if I'm live on YouTube. Okay, I might be live on YouTube. Let me show my face and say hi to everybody. Welcome. Welcome, people. My name is Roy Dunya. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Chart Addicts. We're the #1 personal coaching platform in the world for traders. I'm going to be showing you how to trade. I'm going to be trading live in front of you. I'm going to be narrating and talking out loud as I trade and hopefully giving you some insight about my decision making and my rationale for making certain choices on the charts. I'll also be walking you guys through fundamental updates on what's happening in the news, as well as some updates on crypto. And my encouragement to everybody is that you're doing your own research. This is not financial advice, and but to be taking notes while you're on the stream, because you could probably learn more here than you can from a professional course. So just a quick side note. Welcome everybody on YouTube. We've gone through a few pairs. NASDAQ is the trade that I pair the most. Good morning. Is the pair that I trade the most. We're sitting at the 61% retracement level here. This is a daily demand zone. Maybe I should put this here. I would say daily support, just so we don't lose track of where we are in the overall structure. This is daily support. Price is forming a lot of rejections here. We had a consolidation. It just kept getting wider and wider. What this actually looks like to me now is a diamond pattern. I think that we're going to continue to consolidate here until we eventually fall out of the side. So I think that we have one more leg to the downside. This is what I would like to see personally, all BS aside. Is right now price is consolidating at the 61 retracement, which means that we had a nice bullish push off the zone, flag retracement, and a lot of people are loading up longs right here. Personally, I want to see a breakthrough down to the lower fib levels. And this is the whole thing when I say put your entry where their stop loss is. People look at me and say, Roy, who's they? All right, and where are their stop losses? They is basically you when you started trading. When you first started trading and you learned about fibs, you'd say, oh, it's at the 61 and there's a 61 rejection. Let me put my entry here. Let me put my stop loss below the wick and let me take this trade. All of a sudden, the market violates through, hits your stop loss, and then continues back bullish. So to avoid that, whoever coughing like that, I hope you feel better. But let's get the microphone muted as well. I hope you're good, bro. Go get some, I don't know who that was, but go get some tea. Go get some vitamins. Go stay hydrated, stay rested up. Cough sounded sus. But same ideal. A lot of people are going to be entering orders here. And so what the market does, it accumulates retail orders and then slips through, hits a lower fib level like the 88.6 and then pushes up at the market open. That's the market open trade I'm looking to take. I want to be in and then I want to be out. What's the chances Euro USD crashes from here? It's possible. The daily is still possible. All right. It's still possible. We still have this previous area of rejection. Whole lot of rejections here. And we're rejecting this space again. Like this could be a little minor retest before we drop. Smaller time frames looking ugly. Did the dollar make a double bottom? Y'all, the dollar might have made a double bottom. Yeah, I'm going to short Euro USD again, y'all. I am shorting Euro USD at the 1.0 level. Granted, we had a pretty aggressive market open, and we did close above the minor structure to the left. Okay, keep this in mind. Anybody who wants to take this trade with me, this trade is pretty sketchy. Once there's a bearish engulfing and you want to catch a pullback, that's actually a bit of a safer trade. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Myself, I'm going to take the risk because I know that this thing could push through. I've already accepted that, but I don't know. It's all lining up. The dollar is forming some support here. Granted, there is another hour and 45 minutes, so this could break through. But the fact that we even rejected the zone, I think that the dollar has a pretty good chance of continuing to the upside here. So Euro USD would continue to the downside. And then UJ would continue to the upside. All right, so I'm still holding my UJ long, and I'm about to re-enter my Euro USD shorts here. I accept the risk. Say it with me, y'all. I accept the risk. Never enter a trade with the expectation that you know that it can't go against you. There is a risk here. The risk is the dollar hasn't fully formed a floor. It hasn't closed above the zone, but it's starting to show some rejections, which is giving me a sign that we could be a little bit early to this game here if we play this correctly. The stop loss is 1.005. Basically, I'm trading this head and shoulders. So here's the left shoulder. Here's the right shoulder. I basically just need the stop loss to be above those highs. But I'm giving it some room to breathe just in case. So 1.005 stop loss. Pretty sketchy looking trade. But at the end of the day, you got to take the risk sometimes. And yeah, under normal circumstances, I would wait for the bearish engulfing off the zone and then just wait for a pullback. But let's see if that dollar holds. Let's see if the thesis works itself out. All right, shameless plug, just because you guys know, we do a lot on YouTube. I'm always trying to make sure that we provide as much value as possible. So new videos that dropped that I want you guys to take advantage of. First, I had a great interview with Jason, good friend of mine, QB Stu, on how he turned $500 to $85,000 in 1 week. Now, I don't care what you guys have seen in your trading. This is one of the most insane flips I've ever seen. People, put something in the chat if you could use a $500 to $85,000 flip in your life. All right. I don't give a fuck if you're a millionaire. I don't give a fuck how many millions you have in your account. Everybody here would take a $500 to $85,000 flip in a week. All right. Just letting y'all know. So it's crazy to be able to hear the psychology behind it, to hear the mindset behind it, the decision making, and everything in between. I think it's phenomenal. Highly recommend that you guys check it out. One of my early mentors, I don't want to say like I had a lot of mentors, but somebody who I've always looked up to and someone who I've always contacted for guidance was Lisaldo. He's a lot older than myself. He's traded. He's an entrepreneur. He's an investor. Great advice here about how to deal with friends that are negative, people around you, what to do when you're successful. And I feel like it spoke to me because, you know, since I've started to have financial success in my trading, I've realized that the relationships I have are different than the ones I had 3-4 years ago. My relationship with my friends and family has been different. My relationship with business partners has been different because I have my own leverage now. I have my own, you know, bargaining chips. And so hearing the conversations from Lisaldo has been incredibly insightful for me. Recommend you guys check that out. This man, Umar, has an over $6 million trading account that he trades. He trades stocks, but it's the same concepts mindset wise. Goes through his challenges. Tyler and James Storms on the yacht, just an overall great conversation about trading, the realities of prop firms, the realities of everything else. Emil, this is an NFT masterclass on the metaverse. This was the most insightful conversation I think I've had since the convention. Not just the podcast itself, but also the conversation before and after. I've put the majority of my focus now on becoming successful in crypto because I'm more likely to become a millionaire this year, not this year, but over the next year and a half off of cryptocurrencies rather than flipping a 5 or 6 figure trading account. All right. This is just me being realistic. And it's hands free. And then, of course, Swaggy C. He's been in this game a very long time, a lot of wisdom. Check that out. Podcast with Lorenzo Hooker, one of our successful students. I put that up yesterday. This is very relatable to folks because if you're in this part of your journey where you're a student, you're starting to see some success, how to navigate and how to, like Lorenzo dropped pilot school. He dropped pilot school because he felt like trading was more important for him, and it ended up being a huge win in his life. And so if some of you guys are on the fence about quitting school or quitting something and you're not sure and you want to pursue trading, this could be a great opportunity for you to gain some guidance from somebody who's in the shoes that you are in. All right. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get this stream popping off. I'll show you guys the trades that we're watching. If there's any pairs that you guys want me to cover, put them on YouTube. You guys have about 5 minutes to put down the pairs that you're watching, and I'll go through them one by one before the market opens. So before the market starts, before the market opens. I'm in this Euro USD short. Keep in mind, a sketchy ass trade. All right. I don't like this double bottom. I don't like the closure above this previous area of structure. And I don't like the fact that we're forming these bullish patterns. However, I'm taking the trade because I have a thesis. The thesis is, as long as the dollar is bullish, EU will drop. As long as the dollar is bullish, EU will drop. And so the dollar has made a giant bullish engulfing candlestick, had one rejection, and now we're coming down on the second rejection. I believe this has a lot of potential to continue to the upside if it holds the support, which means that Euro USD should continue dropping. Bada boom, bada bing. All right. NASDAQ, no rejection, no entry. For those of you guys that have got on a little bit late, let's talk about some of the news events from this morning. Oh, and if you guys have an Instagram, I got my personal Instagram taken down. But if you have an Instagram, if you guys wouldn't mind tagging us on IG, it would mean the world to us. These social media platforms, they don't like to support real value. They like to support clickbait, like to support things that get you angry, things that get you pissed off, things that start debate, things that are very controversial. These social media platforms aren't really trying to help people. So it's up to us. If we put out the good news, if we put out a lot of stuff that's useful and we post it up and people get on these streams, then the Instagram is gonna be like, okay, people like value, people like to learn stuff, and they'll start to push that content instead. I know it's a tough road ahead of us trying to change social media and the culture, but this is our role. This is what we have to do. Keep providing great value and letting folks know what we're doing so that it pushes it out to as many people as possible. Okay, cool. Let's go through the news real quick. Before I go through news, let me talk about the bigger, actually, no, I'll talk about the bigger picture here in a second, and I'll explain how these news events. So core retail sales, basically all sales, excluding automobiles, down from the expectations. That's not good. You want people to be buying more stuff, not less. Manufacturing index from New York, not doing too hot. Philly manufacturing index, well, this is doing better than expected. Philly manufacturing index doing way worse than expected. So I don't know what Philly and New York, I'll go through and break those down later. Retail sales higher than expected, which means people are still buying stuff. So core retail sales, the difference between these two numbers, why this one is negative and this one is positive, there's been an increase in the amount of cars being sold. But all the other goods in the economy are down. And so I'm more interested in the core retail sales. Like if a bunch of people are buying cars, all that shows me is that the car market has become cheaper. But if people are buying less shit in general, that means that the overall market is slowing down. So sales slowing down, sign of weakness in the economy. Unemployment claims, we were expecting 225,000 new people to apply for unemployment insurance benefits. Instead, only 213,000 have applied in the past month for unemployment insurance benefits, making it better than expected. So that's the news that came out this morning. It all dropped about 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, and it's had a pretty significant impact on the markets. The Euro USD re-entry is 10 pips in profit. Let me know in the chats if you guys took this Euro USD re-entry with me, just so I have a sense of who's involved in this position with me. I know it's only 10 pips, but it's nice to see the rejection because it at least shows that the idea for the trade is there. Shit, a cool 13 pips doesn't hurt. Doobie says I'm in there. Marco says I'm still in the original trade. Marco, that just made my day. I love to hear that. You trusted it. There's no reason to close that original. You're letting it play out. You're deploying the patience that you need. That's awesome, Margo. Great to hear that. I love to see it, guys. We've had a lot of different types of programs over the years. The advanced coaching program that we did recently was the most intensive that we've ever done. It was a 30-day intensive period where we basically just tried to look at a variety of habits that a certain trader has, that a lot of the students that invested in that program had, and for us to build a plan to break those habits and to build new ones. The reason we did 30 days is because 30 days is long enough to really, really see the issue up front. When we do a 1-week program, I can tell you the issue, but if you don't see it over and over again, it's going to be hard for us to pinpoint it. If I say, hey, man, look, it seems to me that your issue is over trading. And every week that we go into the program, I realize that the same issue happens. First 2 days of the week, you're doing great. You're excited about the week. Middle of the week, you start losing. You start getting discouraged. By the end of the week, you've blown most of the account. If I realize that that's the trend, then by week 2, we can start to break it. And so we don't start taking hella trades at the beginning of the week and building ourselves a hole to dig ourselves out of. Midweek, we take our foot off the gas. Don't overtrade. End of the week, we don't give the profits back. And so just by looking at the life cycle of a trader's success during the week, we're able to break some of those habits, build new ones. And I'm just very excited to see how some of those students, like I got Nick in here, Mark, I don't want to, put out their personal business, but I'm just so incredibly proud of the progress that they've made in that amount of time. And there's become very disciplined. There's no longer this, oh, let me just close it right now and do this irrational thing. It's become a lot more of a rational decision-making process. Very, very happy to see that. That's what trading success looks like, yo. Roy said no to the jab. Roy, what did they do to my man? Yo, what did they do to my man, Roy? What the fuck? What are you guys talking about? What the fuck is going on here? Oh, I think you guys might be talking about social media. Because Roy said no to the jab. Fam, you trying to get my stream taken down? Como Rebbe. Chill out, fam. Anthony Green said I did. It's great. Anthony, good to see you. Anthony, if I'm not mistaken, is in the Enigma chats. Remember we had a discussion yesterday. Great to see you on here, brother. You stopped trading NAS temporarily? I did, because this is just like me being realistic with you guys. And I just don't want to lie on these streams, because what fucking benefit does that do for anybody? But just being completely realistic, I wasn't having that much success with NASDAQ over the past probably 3 to 4 weeks. The volatility that I was seeing in the markets, it wasn't available for me to swing trade the way I wanted, to hold trades in the direction of the trend, nothing that I wanted to do. So for example, there's a lot of swing trades I wanted to catch to the downside that would go 200 points. That's 2,000 fucking pips into the in profit just to have it reverse. So I took my foot off of trading NASDAQ for a little bit, started to look for GJ, started to trade Euro USD, some of the original pairs that I used to look at. And now I'm intermittently trading NASDAQ in between, just to be able to, stay sharp and take advantage of opportunity. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm swing trading Euro USD, and I'm trying to catch these scalps on NAS. So this morning, for example, if we get this buy position at the market open, we'll just take that trade. Is there a swing trade a little bit higher at this level at 12,358? Most likely. So go, okay, we'll take our profits here and we're done. Done. Made money, made enough money for groceries. I'm living good. Okay. It pushes all the way up here. Then we can short it all the way down. So there's a swing trade somewhere. It's just not going to be here. It's not going to be right now. And so we're going to have to intraday trade in between the swing trade. And that's, there's no problem at all. Very happy to do that. Come on, son. Come on, son. Oh, okay. Lesson for you guys. Something I hear a lot about, and I want to say my piece on it, because obviously, I'm very opinionated. If you guys haven't been able to tell, and I just speak my mind, I'm gonna say this for real. We talk about not being emotional with your trading. because the sign of a non-emotional trader is win or lose, you have the same exact mentality. And most days, that's me. But when you get excited about winning, there's actually nothing wrong with that. A lot of people used to tell me when I got excited on the streams that I was being emotional, and that by being emotional, that I was hurting my ability to make rational decisions on the charts. Let me give you guys a quick framework to use of whether the emotions that you're showing on the charts are reasonable or if they're going to end up hurting you in the future. I'll make a quick T chart here. That's how I do everything in life. Over here is going to be like reckless behaviors that will impact your trading, or reckless like thought process. And over here is just being excited because you won, or just because something that you did went the way that you wanted it to. An example of irresponsible excitement or reckless excitement is when you start to take credit for the move. Okay, saying things like, I'm the shit, nobody can touch me, the markets are my bitch, I am the markets, taking credit for the market move. Now, last I checked, dipshit, you're not a market maker. You had no control over the market moving. What you did was make a great decision, and the market ended up playing out. Now, getting excited because you had a thesis. The thesis was, as long as the dollar continues bullish, then Euro USD will continue bearish. And the market rejected, not because I told it to, but because I had a list of confirmations. I did the right thing. I took a trade based on this thesis, and it played out. And so there's like an acknowledgement of the reality of trading and the decisions that you made to win the trade versus taking full credit for the market moving. And we see this all the time. The cockier that somebody is, the more you realize that they haven't been around trading that long, or they're probably demo trading and not actually trading. The market humbles everybody. Everybody. And so if you still feel like you're taking credit, and this is my framework is I take full responsibility when I lose, and I don't take any credit when I win. By doing that, whenever I take a loss, I fucked up. I missed something. There was something that somebody else saw that I missed, and I need to figure out what that is in order to improve. When I win a trade, for example, if this Euro USD melts to the ground, I can't take credit for the market moving. I am not a market maker. What I can take credit for and pride myself on is actually entering the trade and not pussying out. Because sometimes it's easy to hesitate so much that we just don't enter. And so just the simple fact of entering the trade and taking the risk, you can applaud yourself for it, right? You should be happy that you didn't pussy out and stand on the sideline when you actually wanted to take the trade. All right, there's nothing wrong with sitting on the sideline, by the way, if that was your intention. If your intention was to make money and trade and you ended up pussying out, even though the market gave you everything you wanted to see, that's not acceptable. And so take responsibility when you lose. Don't take credit for the market moving in your direction. And if you do that, you'll become a very rational trader. Now, when you do follow your rules, when you do implement great risk management, when you do have rational decision making, then you should get excited about those things. You should get excited about doing the right thing. All right, bada boom, bada bing. Good morning, everybody. Market open. We have NASDAQ coming right into our entry zone. No rejection as of yet. We're seeing minor rejection at the 88.6. What I would like to see is a violation of the 88, because how many times, guys, have we entered at the 88 and the market swipes through a little bit just to end up closing above? Let's give it a second. Let's wait for the market to break through the 88 just a little bit, and then on the way back up, we'll enter right at the 88.6 and take the market all the way north. If you wish to enter right now with the right risk, help yourself. What I'm actually going to do is scale into this trade, where I'm going to enter a very small position now, and I'm going to enter more positions as the market retraces. Price is aggressively bearish. So I do want to see a rejection here before I just enter this trade. All right, so I've scaled in with a 0.1. I'm going to allow this probably 20 to 50 minutes to play out. If we get the first rejection right now, I'll just close the partial entry that I have, bag my win, and call it a day. But what I would like to see is a little bit of a mess here where price kind of pushes through and then we get a retest. After this retest, we finish short. My true directional bias on the indices is that we're going to go short. However, if we know anything about markets is that before the markets go short, they're going to make a massive pullback. So what we're doing now is we're trading the pullback, which I don't normally advise. I always talk about trading with the trend. But when we're taking these smaller time frame intraday type trades, it's okay to scalp counter trend trades. I'll say it's okay. It's like whatever is okay is kind of relative, but or subjective, my bad. So Euro USD is in profit. Pretty happy about that. About 20 pips so far. UJ still playing around entry. Hasn't made any significant moves yet. We just need that follow through, people. We just need that follow through. I need that follow through on Euro USD as well. Let's go. Nice re-entry here. Not to say it can't form a floor here because we're still making higher lows. So ideally, like in order to really get a follow through on this trade for a swing trade, this structural area and this structural area of buys need to get broken. As we break this zone, I'm like, okay, fuck yeah. Now we're headed down to the next level. Then it's going to play around at this level because it's a minor support. So it's going to do this, make us think it's going to reverse. And then once we violate that level again, now we're like, okay, I'm going to move my stops to break even, and I'm going to hold this thing all the way through. You'll still get pullbacks before the market drops. That's cool. But getting the best entry up here is the key, which I think that we've done pretty well. So we need price to violate none of this higher low bullshit. We need to break through these lows. And if we do that, we're on a pretty good start for this trade. Dollar rejection, U30, same thing. I think U30 is going to do the same thing, which is just pull down and then make this pullback. All right, we'll have to see. This is very unnatural price action. And so there's no guarantee that the market's going to make this rejection. It could fill this wick and continue the price action to the downside. However, if we just look at logistics of how markets work, we do have a double bottom here on the higher time frame. We've already created this inverted head and shoulders kind of scenario. And so one of the likely options is this. Now, if you guys have been on my streams, you know that I look at every decision in my life and every decision on the charts with a probability weighted decision-making framework, which means if there's two options here, or there's three options. One is we violate. Two is we do one of these. And three is that we make, well, actually, there's only two. Pull back and drop, or we just drop from right here. The probability that I would ascribe to each of these options is what I think is going to happen. So I would say there's probably a 60% chance of option one, which is just dropping out of the sky. And I'd say there's about a 30% chance of option two up here. Now, this probability weighted decision-making framework allows me to figure out, yes, there's multiple scenarios, but which one is a higher probability? Then you start to stack confirmations. So if you guys have heard of a multiple confluence strategy, the point is to try to stack confirmations for why one of these is going to happen over the other. The reason that I want to ascribe the bearish momentum right away is because of this aggressive push that we've had yesterday. All the negative news and all of the uncertainty that's happening with the fundamentals, I think could just push the market straight to the downside. Now, these probabilities are not static. They're dynamic. And so if the market comes down here and makes a wick rejection, or it comes down here and it makes a bullish engulfing, the probability of option two just got way higher. The probability of this happening just went to 80% in my mind. Okay, so with every confirmation that the market adds in the structure, it adds a probability that the trade's going to go your way. If you're thinking about trades based on, I think it's going to drop, I don't think it's going to drop, bro, it has to break, bro, it has to do this. If you're still talking like that, you're an amateur and there's some work that needs to get done. when you start speaking in terms of probability weighted decision making, now you've entered the realm of being a trader. Now you've entered the realm of probability decision making, and you're going to be a lot more comfortable in your trading. He said, I am the market. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you start to think that you are the market. You start to think that you or what you think or what you do has any effect on the price action. The answer is it does not. The broker is not watching your $7 risk. The markets don't give a fuck about your $1,000 account. I promise you this right now. And this is where, like, I didn't realize this until I started taking responsibility for the losses and not taking credit for the wins. When I did that, I started to realize that every loss has a reason, right? Whether it was closing early, whether it was not identifying something soon enough, whether it was entering at a level that was, you know, pretty sketchy, whatever it might be. Oh yeah, I didn't even go through GJ. Bad shit. GJ shorts running, doing great. We have a mini head and shoulders forming. Do not short on the breakout. We talked about this earlier. If you short right now, the risk that you're going to have to take. And everybody's just like, oh, fuck, man. There's so many traders that just don't give a fuck. And they'll just like they'll say anything to get clicks. They'll say anything to sell courses. Look at this shit. A lot of people will tell you to enter a trade like this. If you entered off of this trade, you have a 360 pip stop loss. All right, let me know in the chats which one of y'all is taking a 360 pip stop loss. It doesn't make any sense. Let's say that you want to put the stop loss right above the previous structure. Let's say just above this previous wick or this previous wick. Just above that. Let's raise this down. That's still 180 pips. Now, what if you waited for a double top entry? What if you waited for a full retest? What would the R&R be? The double top entry would look like this. Stop loss above the structural area. Risk and reward is almost 5-1. So the difference between a 5-1 R&R and a 2.5-1 R&R is entering late. You guys see that? You wait for a double top. It's a 4.8-1 risk and reward, which means for every $100 that you're risking today, you're going to make back almost $500. If you enter now and you risk $100, you're only making $230. All right. Entry is king. Risk and reward is king. So that's my take for you guys to look left, look at this previous area of resistance, wait for the market to curl back to that area and take a short from here. That would be ideal. Shorting right now, not the best strategy because you're going to have to eat a shit ton of drawdown if that thing starts retracing on you. Anthony said yes, and thank you for a great week. Awesome. Appreciate the transparency. Trade halfway to my TP. Took partials and holding full TP. Awesome stuff. What are your thoughts on GJ? Y'all know the drill. It's great. You don't need massive pips to make a bag. Exactly. That's why you have to optimize your trades. If you know that you're only getting 100 points out of every trade or 100 pips, and you keep entering these small ass lot sizes, at some point you have to realize that the small lots is not going to help you. And you're going to have to trade according. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying over leverage the account, but I am saying, you know, don't be a pussy. If your account can handle it and you are being very conservative because you're scared to lose money or whatever it is, that's a problem. All right, so I hit about 50 points on this this NASDAQ trade. I'm floating about $250. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stop loss and break even. And I might just take the whole trade here. This thing could keep pushing, but I might just take the whole trade. The highest that went was about 70 points. Now we're floating about 50 points. 50 points in the morning. So you have two options, y'all. Put your stop loss and break even and just let it run. If it keeps going, you can hit full TP. That's fine. I still see it hitting full TP. But for myself personally, I'm going to close the trade because I like money and the money is available. And if I keep taking the money when it's available, then I end the week making money. Wow. All right, so it's about 70 pips up now. I'll leave a micro. I'll leave a 0.01. I don't give a fuck. I'll leave a micro and break even. My entry is at 12,047. Did anyone get a better entry than me? My entry was at 12,047. Euro USD, massive retracement. I'm not liking this, right? I needed to stop making these higher lows. I need this previous, okay, say need is a strong word. What I would like to see in order for this trade to get validated is for this previous area of structure to get broken. Once this previous area of structure is broken, we have pretty clear free fall to the downside. Come on. Slow market open. Is there anything else today? So 10 p.m. we have the Chinese retail sales. All right. We know that that's going to be accurate. Tomorrow's news, consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment, basically I put it on the I'll put it under the same category as the core retail sales. So American consumer, one of the most powerful economic forces in the world. If the American consumer is still spending, the rest of the world is still producing. So we know that core retail sales and consumer sentiment are very important to the global economy. So retail sales came out a little bit lower than expected. Let's see consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment is in a survey of consumers' confidence in their ability to continue to spend. Like consumer sentiment is, do you feel like we're headed into a recession? Are you starting to save your money because you're worried about what comes next? Or are you just still spending crazy? In 2021, people were spending crazy. The sentiment was fucking high. All right. The sentiment ain't looking too hot right now when they say recession every other word on Bloomberg and Yahoo. So sentiment should come out a little bit lower. And then what's crazy is inflation expectations. 4.8%. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, it's a monthly inflation expectation. Look, inflation is still running at almost 9%. That's insane. It's unheard of. So the Fed has their first meeting next week on the 21st. All of August, we didn't have a single Fed meeting. So basically, it's like your parents, like the teacher stepped out of the room. Now we have a bit of a, we had a bit of a party period where the markets were just going up and up and up. Jerome Powell stepped back on the stage at Jackson Hole conference 2 weeks ago. Market started crashing again. So it's the equivalent of the teacher stepping back in the room. Next week on the 21st, there's a parent-teacher conference. That's what I'm going to compare the FOMC meeting to. So Jerome Powell is going to head up on stage again. He's going to give his opinion about the economic landscape and what the Fed intends to do. Now, since the Fed controls monetary policy and they control markets, it's pretty straightforward that he's going to have a large effect on the markets. So everything leading up to then is basically just a giant money grab from retail traders until that news event happens. Says, Roy, what do you mean by everything is going to be a money grab for traders until that happens? Basically, what you're about to see in the markets between now and then is the market makers very effectively taking money from people in a smart way, enticing you to take certain trades, enticing folks to do certain things on the charts that don't make a lot of sense. And by doing that, they'll be able to kick us out of our trade before the thing finally moves. It's the way the markets work, people. To all Chart Addicts and non-Chart Addicts members, I'm starting the Mindset Challenge. It's a 14-day. Normally I do 30 days, but look, guys, I've been extremely busy with my life, and I have to really focus on myself. So I'm gonna make this 14 days because I still want to do something great for the community. 14 days, mid-September. We're gonna start tomorrow morning, mid-September to the end of the month. We're gonna be focusing on habits. The habits are gonna be waking up at a specified time, getting sleep under control, getting diet under control, getting exercise and health under control, getting mindset, goal setting under control, getting decision making under control, and all the key components of success, making sure that they're all in line. 14 days, not enough to break and build habits, but enough for you to expose yourself and show yourself what you can do, which builds an intense amount of confidence. If I walk you guys through this, I'm waking up at the same time. Oh, I'm waking up before you, but if I wake up before you, show you how to goal set, show you how I'm goal setting, how it's been able to help me in my life, how it's been able to help me with my financial success, my relationship success, how I'm able to have the physicality to be able to go through all day, the focus and the mental clarity to go through work all day. I want to show you guys how I do that and to build some of those key qualities. So sleep, very important. Diet, very important. Goal setting and direction, very, very important. Relationships and respecting your time, respecting your peace, very important. So some of those key metrics we'll be able to talk about. This was a no drawdown trade. I don't take credit for the market moving. I take credit for the decision making of entering the trade at the 88.6. So you can pride yourself on good decisions. You don't have to take credit for the market moving and say you are the market. But the decision to enter the trade for some of you guys, that's what you can pride yourself on. Waiting for the proper entry and then entering once the market gave the opportunity. I hate Euro USD so much. I don't say I hate it, but I just hate trading currency pairs. Like it's so much patience involved. It's not okay. Look, how can I re-explain this? I'm in a position where I'm responsible for a lot of traders. Not that I'm really responsible for your success, like I am obviously, but everybody's responsible for their own success. But when we get on these streams, I'm trying to provide some value, and I'm trying to find some, I'm trying to find trades that move, and I'm trying to find things that push. And swing trading is just something that I have to put off to the side and just let it go. It's something I'm working on, y'all. Just trust. I'm a work in progress, just like the rest of y'all. But luckily, I'm nice as fuck at what I do, which is intraday trade indices, and so that's my bread and butter. That's what I do on a daily basis. Is I day trade indices, and then I try and swing trade the currencies. And swing trading is a fucking trip, people. All right, so Big Tuna obviously got a better entry than I did. David got a better entry than me. David, now I'm just pissed off, but how did that even happen? How did that even happen? It hasn't even possible.
I was looking at this since last night, exact same entry. And yeah, I mean, it came down and tapped my level, so I just said bye.
Fucking masterful. All right, incredible breakdown. He said, I called it last night. I waited for it. It hit my level and gave me what I wanted, so I got in. Oh, man. He said, Roy, tell me how you really feel. But I was start talking my shit a little bit. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I mean, we're pushing. It's almost that TP. So that's awesome. Where are we at right now? About 101 points. That's a good fucking trade, yo. That's a good fucking trade. Smaller time frame breakdown. I know I keep going back through this, even though it's a swing trade. Nice bearish rejection off that zone. It did close higher though. Not good. What I want to see is that price rejects this zone again and then creates a wick and the candle closes below this area. All right, I just need price to close below this area. If we do that, then we can keep pushing to the downside. If we close above this area, it's going to start to form support here and shit, and it's going to keep pushing up, and we're going to have to keep waiting. And the reason this pisses me off, guys, is because when it's not the right entry yet, I have to keep checking the shit and setting alerts. And every time price crosses a zone, I'm opening up my charts just to catch the trade. Shit's very annoying. So I just want this thing to move. I know I'm being lazy and I'm setting unrealistic expectations for the markets. However, you know, we can all have some wishful thinking. U30, beautiful rejection here. Nice inverted head and shoulders. Now the probability of this is way higher than the first one. Let's call this 80% chance that we see that. 60% chance that we just reject the 38 down here. Damn, I gotta stop getting on these streams with an empty stomach. I'm hungry as fuck. You do when you go to the gym, you get your metabolism up and you just get on here. Ava said potential re-entry on NAS right now. Oh, hell no. TP just hit. Oh, TP just hit.
If this candle closes like the way it's looking right now and then comes back to the 78 one more time, I'd re-enter. But other than that, I ain't getting back in there.
I agree. If the candle closes above these wicks, like a bullish engulfing, then the next retest is going to be considered bullish.
Yes.
But if we close below the body of those candles, then it's printing lower highs, and at that point, it's the end of the trade. Patience, patience, patience. He said smashed my TP. Wow. Anthony, are you talking about the NASDAQ trade? Said, yeah, that's super annoying. How did you calculate the percentages of where the market will / might move? In my head, brother. These were mental probabilities that I'm ascribing based on my observational capacity and my framework that I use to identify market conditions. In other words, I put in that work and that time, and I got this machine up here that can calculate chances of things happening because of my experience. It's called subconscious competence. It's called mastery. I booked partials, protected, leaving half to run till 12,431. Little cheeky, right? Little cheeky, 12,431. It's a long ways away. But I could see it. NAS short back down to lows after / if it goes all the way to the high. Let's take a look at this. Got the extension level up here. So clear road, basically. If you look left, pretty clear traffic here. We have resistance, we have support. If the market breaks above the 12,170, pretty clear path up to 12,288. If we break the 288, pretty clear path up to 362. All right. So if we look up and say, where's the biggest selling zones? Well, first, we're at one of them right now. All right. So if we violate that level, we're going to head up to the next one. If we head up to the next one, if we break that one again, we get up to this top level, which is the 430, just like Nick mentioned. Some previous support down here. I'd probably say closer to 400. Measure this thing all the way through. This is where we took the trade last week on the stream. Or maybe it was Monday. Might have been Monday. But we took the shorts that same level. If price comes back up here, 370 to 400, we can take a short from right there. All right. Be patient with the dollar. Sometimes it likes to fuck around. See how the 4-hour closes. If the 4-hour closes like this, it's not, it's pretty good sign still. Still holding. Yeah, UJ making a flag retrace, but it's all good. Hold it down. Ladies and gentlemen, that's basically all I have for you today. I'm not going to kind of keep forcing this stream if there's no other opportunities. We smashed TP on NASDAQ yet again, right? You can't make this shit up. Is it still running? Yeah, it is. Can't make this shit up. Am I about to post my entry on the Chart Addicts page? Yeah, I am. So keep in mind, guys, I've closed everything on this trade except for a micro lot size. This is, I want to know, position size shaming here. Okay, I'm going to post this thing in the chat. I want to hear any lot size shaming. All right, this is my entry on NAS. All right, let me know in the chat if you guys see that. So pretty nice wick entry. I really wish I just held the whole trade, but obviously I wanted to take the partials because it was an intraday trade. But let me know if you guys see that beautiful entry on here at 47. As soon as price popped up, it basically made it up to the 100 on this candle. Halfway through this candle is where I closed the majority of my position. Now I'm just leaving a runner. If it keeps going, I'll make a cool $300-400. Nothing crazy, but some spending money, and that's pretty good day. Euro USD though, I'm in this thing for real. Like I'm in this thing for real. So I want to see this thing, I want to see it move. I want to see it shake. Son of a damn. How'd that even hit my entry? I had an entry all the way up here. And I had my stops and break even for one of the entries because I was in pretty heavy. This thing ain't even come close. The spread kicked me out of my that trade. So if you're swing trading, another big lesson. Don't be a pussy. You're gonna put your stop losses way too tight. It's gonna constantly get hit. It's very, very annoying. You gotta just leave it open. You gotta accept the risk. All right, if we come back and this thing crashes, I'm gonna be like, guys, fucking 75 hours later, we did it. And gals. Ain't nothing wrong with micros. We growers, not showers, baby. Hey, yo. Oh, fucking weak. Oh, damn. So you can buy a nice salmon with an avocado salad. But for $400, what kind of fucking salad are you buying for $400? Boy, that's my insurance bill, my phone bill. That's my car insurance and my phone bill. Or just my phone bill and like groceries. It's real money, people. It's like real shit. A lot of people just want to make thousands and thousands and tens of thousands or whatever, but you haven't taken money out of the markets ever. A lot of you guys have such unrealistic expectations when for real, if you just learn to make a couple $100 here and there, you start paying for your groceries with trading, you start paying for your bills with trading. Now all of a sudden your wife is not bitching at you while you keep losing the family money. Instead, you're actually paying for bills, you're paying for like dinners out with the fam and improving the quality of living. That's what y'all need to be looking at. A lot of people, I can't wait to quit my job. But let me tell y'all, as somebody who trades full time, this shit is not fucking fun. All right. When you need the money in order to live, it's not that fun. Some of y'all that have a job, you're in the best position possible to trade. Like for me, when I see a trade and I'm up $1,000, sometimes I'll take the full 1,000 rather than waiting for it to hit 4, 5, 6,000 because I need the money. But if you have another source of income that's paying you and that's taking care of you, then you're able to just hold trades. You're able to make decisions more technically rather than financially. And that's the beauty of having some financial security in your life. So a lot of people want to trade full time. They want to do that. Take advantage of the situation you have and the financial security you have to be able to put yourself in the best position possible. This could actually be a pretty good entry for this could be pretty good re-entries if this thing forms a higher floor. So it comes back down to the 78%, starts to make higher floors. This could actually be a pretty good move back up. The reason I'm saying that is because we've already had a nice bullish push that closed above the previous two candlesticks. The body did at least. But this is who can tell me why I set my take profit where I did? We entered off to 88.6. Who can tell me why we set the take profit where it was?
23.6 fib.
Yes, sir. Well, it was a little bit under. I flipped my fib and I put right above the 61, or it was actually right below the 78. Which, Nick, if you didn't know, if you flip your fib around, the 23.6 is the 78.6 on the other side. So pretty close. Fib levels, entry and exit. Anyone who says fibs don't work, just can't work them. All right. Don't blame them. They never learned how to use a very simple tool. It's okay. You got the fib, and I have a little 5-minute trend line as well, right where your TP is. Yep. There's a few reasons there. Now we have another 78, 88.6 entry from T. I like that too, bro. Honestly. Maybe a little bit high. Like I really feel like it could go up and hit the 78.6. If it hasn't already. I think it already did. So the opportunity would look a little bit like this. The next trade, at least. 88.6 entry. Nice little 3-1. Yeah, pretty high chance EU flips over here. God damn it. All right, well, mama ain't raised no bitch. I'm going to stay in this trade. I'm going to keep everybody in Chart Addicts updated on this. If you have the Enigma Signals app, keep an eye on it. Yes, we don't send that many signals because we're only looking for high quality trades. Only looking for high quality trades. So we might send 1 to 4 signals a week. That's the expectation. If you will make your money back if you're taking these trades. There's no can or should. If you're doing it right, and you're following the instructions on the app, you will make your money back. All right. So don't worry about the quantity of the trades. Look for the quality and make sure that you guys are learning, not just taking the signals. Make sure that you are constantly learning because that is how you improve. If you're on Chart Addicts, please, or if you're on YouTube, please make sure to drop a like on your way out. It would help us immensely. It would mean the world to me. Just drop a quick like, takes 2 seconds. Drop a like on the video. Everybody else, Chart Addicts members, great to see you guys this morning. Any questions that you guys have, put them in the CA members chat, and we can open up the discussion there on these trades. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait to see if I can get a short at the near sell zone. That's it. T says, always remember to close in blue. Beautiful advice. You got a fib, and I have a little 5-minute trend. Okay, we already went through that. So, ladies and gentlemen, happy and safe trading. Great to see everybody. Post this up on Instagram if you guys don't mind as well. That would mean a lot to me. It says check GJ. We already did. Don't short at the neckline. Wait for a pullback. 165.7. That sort of area, or even a little bit higher, you can look for shorts. I do see shorts all the way down to 163. 163. And if we break that level, I can see us heading all the way to 160. All right. Take care, everybody. Great seeing y'all this morning.